Do you have a second brain? Now, I don't mean that necessarily in a literal sense, like you can't see a second brain, but do our bodies or living organisms actually house something that can represent a second brain? I introduce to you today the nervous system. The nervous system is part of the process that allows living organisms to thrive in homeostasis. So it is so crucial that we take a step back and define what homeostasis actually is. And by a formal definition, it is a relatively stable state of equilibrium, or a tendency towards such a state between the different but interdependent elements or groups of elements of an organism, population, or group. To give a quick overview of our nervous system, it is split up primarily in 3 different departments or areas, or should we say states of being. This is central nervous system, the autonomic nervous system, and the peripheral nervous system. Now, of these 2, I've chose to highlight and focus on some of the roles and functions of the central nervous system and the autonomic nervous system. The nervous system is a system of tissues that conduct electrical impulses around the body to coordinate responses to external stimuli. It initiates movement and it processes sensory information. Okay, so what's coming in, we've got input and output, output. All of this stuff has to go through the nerves and sends out electrical responses throughout our body so that we can transmit information by way of these electrical nerve impulses conducted between nerve cells. The impulses are always going to be contingent on the body's individual internal and external environments. These things play a big part and can regulate the movement. Moving on, talk about the autonomic nervous system. This is what's going to be controlling our involuntary actions, such as our heartbeat and digestion. These are the internal senses, often less conscious than the other, but it is by these internal senses that our bodies can achieve homeostasis. This includes, but aren't limited to, things like our blood pressure, hunger, thirst, metabolism. This list goes on, but we can see how this would easily support homeostasis within life as we know it, because when we are out of balance in any of these areas, we are out of balance both physically and mentally. The primary organs involved in both the central nervous system and the autonomic nervous system are going to be your brain and spinal cord, and then the sensory and motor nerves. Functions of the nervous system in general are going to be processing information, as we said before, from both internal and external environments, controls and regulates each part of our bodies. The nervous system specializes in processing sensory and motor information. It stimulates and excites the body, but also brings it back to a normal state after said stimulation or excitement. So again, we've got this collision where a balance can occur. And also, again, transfers information throughout the body by way of nerve impulses. The special types of cells, highly specialized nerve cells, are neurons, and they possess 2 kinds of processes: dendrites and axon. So dendrites, together with the cell body, receive impulses from other neurons, and axons conduct impulses to other neurons. Again, we see that same collision where we balance out. So one is receiving and the other is pushing out. So whenever we talk about the nervous system and a disease state that could affect the nervous system, this list could be very long, but diseases of the nervous system include genetic malformations, poisonings, metabolic defects, vascular disorders, inflammations, degeneration, and tumors. And they involve either nerve cells or their supporting elements. Now, the disease state that I chose to highlight in specific would be multiple sclerosis. And this condition can definitely affect the nervous system. It causes stress, anxiety, depression, physical impairments. These are all things that thrive on when functioning normal. They need the nervous system to work effectively, and whenever the diseases come in, they impair the nervous system, so that those areas are definitely impaired. So let's take a little quiz. First one, which of the following conditions will affect the nervous system? We've got stroke, meningitis, anxiety, or all of the above. The answer is D, all of the above. Next up, we'll end how we started. The autonomic nervous system is sometimes called the second brain. Is this true or not true? The answer is true. So during research, I came across this conclusion several times, or this idea, I'm sorry, because it is more of a theoretical sense, but I think that if you were to take a deeper dive into discovering what the nervous system does for living organisms and our body as humans, it's pretty amazing. And it's no wonder that it is sometimes called the second brain. Again, the autonomic nervous system is the one that is involuntary, breathing, heartbeat, blood flow, all these things that are just pumping and thriving and living on their own and allowing us to have homeostasis and live and create and be, I don't think would be possible without our nervous systems in place. So they definitely play a big role. Thank you all for listening. I hope you all are well, and to see you in discussions going forward. Have a great weekend.